Would you like to learn 10 secrets to better sleep? Recently, I've been reading 4 Weeks to Better Sleep by Dr. Michael Mosley, and I'm about halfway through. I thought I'd discuss some of the things that I've learned, things that have already helped me. Right, number one. The first thing I learned in this book was time-restricted eating. So what that means is you don't eat at a certain period of time. So for me, I don't eat anything past 8 o'clock because I like to get to bed at 11 o'clock, and the book suggests 3 hours before you go to bed you don't. I don't eat between the hours of 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. and it means that my body isn't digesting anything when I'm supposed to be asleep, and it means getting to sleep is just a little bit easier. Time-restricted eating, not eating 3 hours before you go to bed. The second thing I learned was that your phone doesn't really keep you awake because of blue light. That used to be true, according to this. Phones have become much better at reducing blue light, especially on an evening, and the blue light that's emitted is negligible. But what it does say is that looking at things that will excite your mind will cause your brain to stay awake. So scrolling through YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it might be, is the kind of thing that's going to keep you awake, going to keep your brain active. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you should stay away from every single device that you have. So maybe watching a bit of TV won't do any harm, but perhaps reading a book might be better. But staying off your phone may be a better idea. I think this is a common one, but number 4, the thing the book was saying was that it's good to get up at roughly the same time every day, even on weekends. And honestly, I haven't been managing that since I got this book, but it's something I want to keep trying to do. What it was saying was that if you wake up at the same time every day, you get into a good routine, which helps your circadian rhythm, and that affects your mood, and that affects how quickly you fall asleep, when your body is ready to sleep. And waking up every day at the same time is a good way to make sure that all those things are in the right place. Number 3 would be eating foods that are really going to encourage your gut health. So the healthy bacteria in your gut really help with sleep. So it did explain in the book how it really went into the science of it, but my knowledge of that is pretty weak. But what it was saying, that eating foods like Greek yogurt, nuts, seeds, like vegetables like aubergines, eggplants if you want to call them that, these kind of foods really help for good bacteria in your gut, which will help you fall asleep quickly and will help you fall into a deeper sleep. It also has suggestions for different supplements you can take, but I'll leave that to them. I'll leave that. So the next few are about relieving anxiety connected with sleep. So point number 6 was breathing technique to help you reduce your anxiety, and one of them it said was the 4-2-4 technique. Basically you breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, you hold it, and then you breathe out through your mouth for 4 seconds, and then you repeat several times. And it's helping with mindfulness, helping you to focus on one thing, to kind of get away from your anxieties, and it's actually really good for you. I found so far it has helped when I'm feeling particularly anxious. The book does suggest that it's better to practice during the day if it's something you're not used to. So number 7 is writing out a plan for the next day. So the reason it says this is sometimes some people, they try and fall asleep on a night kept up with all the things that they have to do the very next day instead of sleeping, and then that causes them to be more anxious, and that causes them to be anxious about not sleeping, and then they don't sleep much, and it's a vicious cycle. So by writing down what you have to do the next day, you've told your brain that there's a plan, it's going to be taken care of, and you're giving yourself a chance to deal with the anxieties before they come. That's the idea behind it, and so that you don't have to worry later on in the evening or later on in the night about what you are anxious about. Number 5, Dr. Michael Mosley talks about keeping a sleep journal. So the idea of this is to track your sleep so you can help yourself to improve. And so you track things like when you actually went to bed, when you roughly fell asleep, and that might be easier if you have some kind of tracking device like I have a watch that tracks when I fall asleep, when you last ate before you went to bed, when you woke up, things like that, so that you can try and measure how well you're sleeping. And it talks about your sleep efficiency. So if you are in bed for 8 hours a night, but you're only sleeping 6 hours a night, then you haven't got very good sleep efficiency. So it was saying that you should have a sleep efficiency of 85% higher. So that roughly means you want to spend between 10 to 15 minutes falling asleep. Any less, then you're probably quite sleep deprived, and any more, then you've probably got some kind of problem sleep journal so that you can measure how well you're sleeping over a period of time. Number 9, get some regular exercise. The book talks about at least 3 times a week exercising, and a mixture of cardio and resistance training. So resistance training would be push-ups, squats, pull-ups, anything that's weighted, anything that you do in the gym would be considered resistance training. If you don't have a gym, it suggests that when you wake up, you do some push-ups, you do some squats, you do some dips just on the side of your bed. So you have your arms behind you as you lower yourself down to work your tricep muscles. Doing that at least 3 times a week, and that doesn't seem, if you exercise on the one day, it doesn't seem to make you sleep more, but over a period of time, if you exercise regularly, it seems to increase the quality of your sleep. Number 10, if you're still struggling despite your best efforts, go see a doctor. It might be that you're trying your best to improve your sleep and it's just not working, or the anxiety is just overtaking you. This book and myself, we're not meant to replace a doctor. Doctors can really help you in this way. There are things that you can do to help improve your sleep, and so I hope that helps. I hope you get a better night's rest.